Hello?
My dad's attacking my family.
Your dad is attacking your family?
No, my dad.
These were the chilling words of 12-year-old Daniel James Beaver as he begged for the police to
Like, bro, it was two of them?
save him from his two older brothers.
Bro, it was two of that, bro. What the fuck is... What in their mind? They crazy. Fuck that. They just crazy. That's all that is. You can't get into the mind of a fucking crazy person. I was gonna say they had to be schizophrenic or something going on, and fuck that. They just crazy.
Who were running rampant throughout his house,
that
killing everybody inside. But less than a minute after the phone call began, Daniel could be heard screaming and begging for his life until the line went dead.
Crazy.
Police arrived at the scene quickly and were greeted by a gruesome scene that had played out all across the house. Blood was found smattered around the porch, and a faint cry for help could be heard from inside. The plea came from 13-year-old Crystal Beaver, but everybody else in the house, except for 2-year-old Autumn, was dead.
One of these survivors.
What the fuck? Bruh, so they killed down to the whole family, except for the fucking girl. Like, what the fuck goes through their mind? Like, I hope they explain the backstory, but side this shit, because these motherfuckers just crazy.
Surviving Bever children, a 13-year-old girl, saying her brothers were fascinated by mass killings for at least a year.
Police heard commotion near the back door of the property and discovered perpetrators Robert and Michael Beaver covered in blood and smiling as if they were proud of what they had.
Oh yeah, them motherfuckers was crazy. You smiling that you just killed down the whole family. Y'all motherfuckers was crazy. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, them motherfuckers need to be shit. Hopefully they got the death penalty or some shit. God damn.
Done. Robert was laughing and told police that killing more than one person had turned him into a god. Unfortunately, Robert's interrogation tape was never released to the public, but 15-year-old Michael's is fully available and gives us some insight into what drove these boys to commit such a brutal crime.
I need the backstory.
I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened.
A couple months ago, we started talking.
I ain't gonna lie. They fed him and gave him water, shit. Well, y'all would have been starving, fuck with me. Ain't no way in hell.
About rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Robert's room was found.
So wait, you go try to throw it on your brother like you didn't help? Fuck out of here. Nigga, you tried, you doing it too. You the accomplice. What the fuck? He trying to throw it on his brother like he
weapons and body armor, including
career.
machetes, hunting knives, and daggers. Apparently, they'd been collecting all of this for months, but when their sister Crystal told their mother about it, she simply passed it off as normal, saying that boys will be boys, and there's nothing to worry about. She couldn't have been more wrong.
The guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
He bought them online. I think the website's like Bud's Gun Shop, and he bought 2 Glocks, 2 Glock 41, and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Moss Boot, I think. Then he bought 250 shotgun rounds.
I ain't gonna lie. He ain't got no remorse in his voice, bro. His voice ain't shaking nothing. He got exact details and shit. Yeah, boy. They ain't got no remorse. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck?
Okay.
On eBay. And then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glocks.
Wow.
Oh, they're finna go on a killing spree if they ain't get caught.
The ammunition was being shipped to the house.
Knives and machetes were one thing, but guns and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition are a completely different matter. So once they'd ordered it to their house, they knew that their parents couldn't be home when it arrived. But what did they even need all of these weapons for? It doesn't take 1,000 bullets to kill 5 people. Well, it turns out that the brothers had a much, much bigger plan.
Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we all plotted every night.
Why did he want to do it?
Because he just, says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless.
So, you just following him? Like, what the fuck? He's saying the brother making all the plans, but motherfucker, you following. You ain't saying no, like, nah, bro, you tripping. What the hell you got going on? You just said, oh yeah, let's do it. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?
So he wanted to like beat like amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Deacon Holmes.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill like 50.
Okay.
The two boys stayed up late most nights talking and scheming, and once they realized they were both separately interested in murder, the die was cast, and from their perspective, there was no turning back. The boys had grown a bond throughout their lives due to their living conditions. Their parents, April and David Beaver, were somewhat abusive to their children. They were homeschooled.
Man, fuck all that, man. I don't think no amount of, well, I can't say that. I can't say no amount of abuse can make you do that, but I don't feel like they say abuse, but nigga, they be saying that about anything. They can beat them and call that abuse. Like, no, I beat you for a fucking reason, but they can say that as abuse. But what the fuck did they do to make you want to kill your mama, your daddy, and your little brother and leave the sister alive? Like, bro, what? What the fuck can make you want to do that?
And even told not to interact with children outside of their own family. This left them alone with their own thoughts a lot of the time, and their only perspective of the outside world was the one that they'd formed in their own minds. This is how they developed.
Shit, they probably kept their ass locked up because they already knew y'all was fucking crazy. That's why. Y'all motherfuckers was showing early signs, probably, more than likely.
Such a negative outlook on society, and what drove them to form the next part of their plan.
You picked a date, you said.
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
How'd you pick the date?
It involved with the packages and stuff would be how, because you know all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. So we wanted to deliver them at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we'd take the Yukon and we'd get our state with the guns.
So, their plan was set. Michael even said their idea was to cut up and dismember the bodies of their family and hide them in bins while they camped out waiting for the guns to arrive.
What? These motherfuckers is fucking ruthless. What the fuck?
He even added the gruesome detail that they only left Autumn alive because they had planned to decapitate her with an axe a little while later. But of
nigga, oh my god. It just keep getting worse and worse. Like, what the fuck? Oh my, bro, do you know how hard, I guess not for a baby, but still, do you know how hard it is to cut through bone? It's not a one slice and it's over with. No, you gotta keep yakking at that motherfucker. You can't just one slice and over with. So these motherfuckers go take the time to really go cutting in the motherfucker to try to cut off somebody's head. Like, bruh, come on, bruh. It's getting worse and worse. I hope they got fucking, I don't know. I'd say the death penalty too easy for them though. On some real shit. But I feel like maybe if you just leave them in solitary confinement for the rest of their life, I think that might equalize. Maybe let them go more crazy or some shit. I don't fucking know. Cause ain't no way in hell y'all just thinking like this. Well, it is a way in hell. They is thinking like this. This the fucking problem. The fuck?
Of course, all of these ambitious plans fell at the first hurdle. So, what was it that happened that night that caused everything to fall apart for the brothers? The murders began with Crystal, who had entered their room at 11:30 p.m. on the 22nd of July, 2015, to the sight of them gearing up with body armor and knives. Michael lured her over to his computer, and Robert slit her throat from behind.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, when I kept stabbing her, I kind of freaked out because, you know, and then my mom came in and she started yelling, call the police, get dad. And then he came over and started attacking her.
So he stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Yep, same knife.
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
At this
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This motherfucker crazy as hell. For you to paint, you remember everything perfectly. You remember the plan. You remember everything. He ain't saying, "Oh, I was in the blur. I don't know what happened." No, this motherfucker saying, "Oh yeah, I sliced the neck. He stabbed her with the other knife and did." Man, what? Oh my god, boy. How can I wonder did the parents had to know something off with them? Cause I refuse to believe like at that young age you can tell like yeah he ain't like the rest of the kids, and you got a reference now. You got you had more kids after that, so you got a reference. You know what normal kids supposed to be like in my head. Yeah, and so you supposed to be like, yeah, them two right there, they're a little off. You supposed to be watching they little ass. They go get in trouble. That's a parent know which ones go get in trouble and shit like that. I don't care what nobody say. A parent know their son or daughter. They know which ones gonna be out there getting in trouble and shit. You supposed to be watching them two motherfuckers.
At this point, Crystal had managed
So when
to
they
get
started buying knives and shit like that, you were supposed to be watching that shit. Shouldn't even let them buy knives if you man. First off, you ain't supposed to let them buy no motherfucking knives. That's the first problem.
up and stumble out of the door in an effort to escape, but Michael quickly followed her and dragged her back inside.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she was still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down. They got a little bit of a fight, but then eventually Robert got him down, you know.
Did he cut his throat too?
The three eldest members of the family were now well and truly out of action. With their parents dead and Crystal's throat slit, bleeding out on the porch, they just left their four younger siblings, the people they thought would give them the least problems. This is also where we rejoin the story from earlier, and Daniel is on the phone with police hidden in his room.
I was sitting on the phone with the police. I grabbed the phone, which is my phone, got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Now you don't have a cell phone anymore.
Shortly after, Daniel...
What the fuck is he doing, man? Why are you trying to be friends with him, man? I know it's probably an interrogation tactic, man. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. You supposed to be hostile as fuck to him. You supposed to be damn near ready to jack him up. Yeah, he really supposed to be pushing his motherfucking head in the wall. Really and truly. Fuck that. Being all nice and shit. Supposed to be pushing that nigga head through the wall.
Now you don't have a cell phone anymore.
Shortly after, Daniel too was stabbed 21 times in the back, shoulder, and chest. The final two victims were hidden in locked rooms, but Michael managed to convince them that Robert was attacking him too. This lured them out, and the brothers finished their attack by once more stabbing 6-year-old Christopher and 5-year-old Victoria to death. Throughout this interview, though, Michael has been placing a huge amount of blame on Robert.
Okay, see, I noticed that. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He trying to get out of it, bro. No, you was a part of that shit. He been trying to throw all the blame on his other brother. No, motherfucker, you was a part of that shit, bro.
Even at points saying that he was just standing there, letting Robert do all the work, and that he was only part of...
Even if that was true, it's still dead ass wrong. You still going to jail. You just watched it happen, nigga, you accomplice. The fuck? Just cause you standing there don't mean you ain't go get hit with these charges, nigga. What is wrong with you?
This in the first place because he knew Robert was going to do this anyway, and he wanted to be on his good side.
I didn't want to kill anyone or hurt anyone. I couldn't do it, so I was going to let him, like, kill everyone.
Yeah, but you stabbed somebody in the neck.
You know,
I mean,
I just kind of...
How do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like it.
He lying like a motherfucker. He probably got off to that shit. He loving that shit right now. Man, fuck him. He lying his ass off. Man, that's what they say. The criminal minds. If I use my criminal mind knowledge, because I'm a fucking, I got a, what the fuck they call it, a degree in that shit of criminal minds. Fuck that. But that motherfucker is crazy. That's what my degree from criminal minds say. Yeah. How much criminal minds are? I don't know why she got off on that shit. What they'll say, the MO. The MO is this. Yeah, that crazy motherfucker.
You watched her get stabbed, you cut her throat yourself, and you watched her bleed all over the place and scream. How does that make you feel?
Think about it.
Unfortunately, though, in his interview, Robert had absolutely no concerns telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, eventually cluing the cops in that Michael may have had a larger part than he originally let on.
The guys that are interviewing Robert kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did. Yeah. And you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest. I'm
about to say, in Criminal Minds, they'll say the big brother is the leader, he the follow, but shit, he really and truly, it might be opposite being real with you. Because he might be the real leader of it, but he just the unsuspecting leader, what they'll say in Criminal Minds. But it's still fuck both of them. Fuck that shit.
just one of
throw their ass in jail.
People that are going to look at this thing.
Or kill them.
Shit. Police coming in, and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about. Everybody's been stabbed, and you both had knives, and we know you both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of at the same level. Who's going to be honest and make this right, and who's a liar? Okay, which one do you want to be?
As is often the case, this simple rhetoric was all the cops needed to use to get Michael to open up and finally confess to being as big a part of the murders as Robert was. Michael admitted to slitting the throats of Crystal and his mother, as well as stabbing Christopher to death.
Damn.
And as usual, one confession led to another, and we gained even deeper insight into the minds of these twisted teens.
You only stabbed your family because they were in the way towards the bigger plan?
They were in the way and higher count.
This higher count, I'm confused. Is this a game?
It's more like to kind of become famous, kind of get.
It now fully comes to light that the murders truly weren't personal to any extent, and that the entire reason for this slaughter, and any that would follow, was just for recognition and fame. This became even more obvious when searches of the home revealed rolling surveillance cameras and storage drives with all of their plans saved to them. Robert later revealed that they planned to make 2 videos, one to taunt the police with, and another to post online. The rest of Michael's interview footage consists of him writing a statement that unfortunately was never publicized. But whatever it was that he wrote must have been pretty messed up, as the detective watching over him couldn't even finish reading it and reacted like this.
Man, that should tell you enough right there, man. These motherfuckers crazy, man. Oh my God, bro. Like, how, well, man, I don't even know what to fucking say to that shit. Like, them two, oh my God. I wonder what the fuck I gotta see what the judge
at trial, neither of the boys stood much of a chance, yet Michael attempted to plead not guilty on the grounds of insanity. However, it didn't go.
With that footage right there, boy, you're too calm and collected. You ain't do no signs of being crazy and shit. Yeah, no, boy. That's all you right there. You going to jail. Ain't no insanity, my boy.
Go so well for either of them, and they were both given 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Okay,
the surviving children, Crystal and Autumn, were adopted by the same couple. But the fact remains that this once large yet reclusive family now exists solely as a foul legend on the conscience of every person that lives in the erstwhile peaceful town of Broken Arrow.